We all know great content revolves around great storytelling of your brand. If you struggle with that, stick around. I'm gonna give you 5 things that'll help you out. Splash. So why would anybody create content? Why do we need to do videos, right? Why do we need to get in front of somebody with video? Why are we doing that? We're doing that to build brand affinity, right? Get customers closer, thicken the market funnel, and shorten the sales cycle, increasing sales, right? Decreasing marketing costs, increasing brand exposure. How do we do that effectively? Storytelling. My name is Sam Herrera, and let's talk about it. Number 1, best way to do this is emotion. Now, creating content, making videos, the best way to pull somebody closer, get somebody closer to your brand is having emotion in the videos. Right? Any video you're doing, organic posts, anything, right? You do a commercial and they're like, oh, that gave me a little bit of joy, right? That was nice, that was funny. Or that made me think of grandma, you know? Or, oh, that reminds me of my childhood. Wow. These things have a very strong effect on the brain, right? When you pull emotion, you tend to remember that stuff. When you got a spanking as a kid, you remember that. When you burned your hand on the stove, you remember that. When you cried about something, you remember that. When you had a really fun experience and a ton of laugh with a classmate, you remember that. Emotions get remembered, and when you do advertising, it's all about being remembered. I want to be remembered so that people can search our name, right? People can search our company. People can, right? We want to be remembered. Number 2, showcase the impact of what you do. This is like the day-to-day stuff, right? Like, the impact of your product or service or your company in general. Like, how are you guys making an impact in the community? How are you guys making an impact in your sector, in your industry? Like, what are those type of things that make impact, right? And then showcase that. Maybe it's the day-to-day stuff that you guys are doing, right? What are the wins in the office, right? What are the wins for the customers, or how has it made customers' lives better? Document that stuff. Maybe repost something that other people posted online about your product or service. Maybe somebody had a birthday in an office, and we want to do an emotional piece about how this person has dedicated 10 years to this company and has rose the ranks and did all these cool things. Don't skimp on it and do like, oh, Susie's birthday today, happy birthday. We're doing like, just showcase, you know, some content where somebody did an iPhone and we're blowing out candles. Don't do that. Take an opportunity to actually make an emotional piece about it, going back to number 1. Show that impact of that customer or that employee at the building, man. Treat your customers or treat your employees just as good as your customers, right? Because now you're showcasing your storytelling of the culture there, the brand culture. Damn, that's just a good place to work, right? And maybe you don't get a customer, but maybe you get an employee, right? So again, the more storytelling you do of your brand, the more you're gonna pull top talent, great customers, loyal customers. You're gonna pull positivity towards you, and you do that with great storytelling. Okay, so number 3, service. Now, when I say service, I mean document the service that you are giving if it's served at a high level. I just told a story about one of my friends. She made a funny call to a pizza company and said she wanted a calorie-free pizza. Well, they sent her a Diet Coke and said, this is the best I can do for calorie-free. Right? It was a free Coke. That's a story, right? That is a story, right? We're kind of being newscasters here. We're like, where in my business are the stories? Like, things like that are the story, right? So you can get a video out there and you can say, hey, you know what? I just got this really cool thing from a customer. I'm going to go ahead and surprise her with the Diet Coke and see how she reacts. And then maybe we got the pizza delivery guy having the iPhone and saying, oh, you know what? Hey, open it up. I want to see you open this up, right? Or this is something special from the owner. Go ahead and open it up and then, tell us what you think. Stuff like that. Maybe they're not into it, but whatever. You got at least the manager, whoever sent that soda, whoever did that gesture, that's a story, right? And maybe you follow that up with a review, right? Maybe you don't get a video, but you get a review of the customer's reaction. Again, those are all emotional, those are all impact, and those are all storytelling, stories of your brand. You guys starting to see the picture here? Storytelling is the number 1 thing to connect with your customers and start thickening that funnel, reducing the cost, and then getting more customer loyalty. Number 4, commercials. Commercials with thought. Like, give these things love. Don't just put out a piece of advertisement, but put out a piece of advertisement that your customers enjoy watching. Right? Like the Super Bowl, you'll hear A lot of talk about the Super Bowl. You'll hear a lot of talk about the commercials, and that gets its own separate coverage after the Super Bowl. They do the Super Bowl recap, yeah, so-and-so won, but then they talk about what's your favorite customers, or what's your favorite commercials, I mean. Like you'll see it on news channels where people are going back and forth on their favorite commercials. Oh, it's the one with this. Oh, it was the one with that. Oh, did you see that one? They're memorable, right? So don't skimp on the commercials. Treat your customers to some great experiences and great little mini movies, right? Little mini campaigns that you can make mini movies with. So again, this should be big production, right? If you want to make an impact, going back to impact, you want to make those big impressions and start telling the story with emotion and all these other things, man, do it with some tender love and care on your commercials, right? They will remember that, they will love you for that, and they will keep coming back for that. Number 5. Now, nonprofits, causes, anything that you guys have, that is all, that has everything in here, right? Emotion, impact, service. I mean, you can make a commercial out of it, right? But the nonprofit, the causes that you guys have, if you're involved in that, those are huge, right? Because those have all these elements of what I just mentioned. If you capture it and document that stuff, it becomes really, really great for brand affinity, customer loyalty, thickening the funnel, being shareable, you know what I mean? Like you can do all these things with just this one alone, right? Maybe it's not a nonprofit, but maybe you donate $1 to, you know, starving kids in Africa, right? Tell people that, showcase that, tell the story of the brand via video, via content. So when you guys start thinking about your content, man, like think about it in the form of this, man, how do I tell the story? It's deeper than that. It's deeper than just whipping out a phone and doing content, right? You know what I mean? It should be a way where you can connect with people. Again, this is all what the whole thing is about. It's about people, right? It's about connecting business and people and business and product and service to improve people's lives. So how do we showcase that and tell the story of it? What you do so exceptional, right? Only you can do. Different from your competitors, different from everybody else. Only you can do. How do we showcase that story, right? So again, I hope this thing helps, man. Like this is a lot of stuff to take into consideration when it just comes to like just 5 alone can just totally revamp your marketing efforts when you shoot content in this way. Organic, commercials, whatever you do, having this tied into it can really, really make a big impact on your advertising by lowering costs, getting more exposure, and then being more shareable, thickening the funnel, bringing customers closer to you. All those good things that we want as business owners, we all want this. All good things we want as CMOs, like healthy companies that are cash flowing, that have customer base and brand loyalty. All these things come from storytelling of the brand. So when you create content, make sure you are telling the story, not just creating content, but going a layer deeper and actually telling the story. There should be a message behind that, a story behind that, so you can guys go out and crush all your goals for quarter 1, quarter 2, 3, 4, infinite. Hope that helps.